Now on Up North Live, news at 6. On the border, what people in Sault Ste. Marie think about the tariff war and their relationship with their neighbors next door.
We're expecting heads to butt on this.
What one northern Michigan lawmaker is saying about a bill House Republicans claim may safeguard some spending in the budget process. Plus, what investigators are saying tonight about a fatal stabbing in Kingsley, the unique circumstances in the case.
This is Up North Live News at 6 on 7 and 4.
President Trump's tariffs on Mexico and Canada on hold for now, but some business owners in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, on the Canadian border say they've been watching closely for months as things have changed constantly. Up North Live's Daniel Zivian spoke to them today.
America's changing relationship with Canada has inflamed discourse across the continent, but I'm at the border where changes can affect people very quickly. Canada to the north of them, America to the south, here they are, stuck in the middle, the Sioux. At Das Gift House, not only have sales been down since tariffs made the news, a potential lack of U.S. manufacturing could make it harder to stock the shelves.
We, in general, try and stay away from China and try and do as much of American or Canadian-made or other countries. So by all of a sudden being told, hey, we don't want you to buy from Canada or some of these other countries, we don't have the resources to go find our own manufacturers. We're kind of at the whim of wholesalers we buy from.
Right now, I should be ordering spring books. We order, you order ahead for every season. And I'm definitely worried about what I should be ordering now. I've cut way back on my normal order.
Island Books and Crafts also sells the work of local artists, a year-round income for them. Sales are slowing, and Townsend says books were already more expensive.
But if they put extra tariffs on China, there are books that are printed there. There are also books that are printed in Canada. I guess there's some question. I'm not sure if paper will be part of the tariffs, but I know that there are printing places over here that actually buy their paper from Canada because of the type of paper it is.
There's also the atmosphere in town. Both Townsend and Bell say it's a divisive topic. Townsend is especially concerned that it isn't just tariffs that are warding off Canadians.
Just this morning, we had a customer come into the store, and she said her husband was sitting in the car because they were from Canada. Heard stories that people have been scratching cars when they see Canadian license plates, which is, a terrible thing to have happen. And we hear stories about Canadians not wanting to come over here now.
I spoke with Detective Sergeant Kristen Atour at the Sioux City Police. She says they haven't received any reports along these lines and says Americans and Canadians alike should feel free to call the police station or Central Dispatch if they have anything to report. In Sault Ste. Marie, I'm Daniel Zivian.
And here are the numbers on your screen now. We also have the number for the Chippewa County Sheriff's Office.
A Kingsley man is dead after he broke into a stranger's home Friday evening and was stabbed by the owner. The Grand Traverse Sheriff's Office says it happened at the Cherrywood Mobile Home Park in Kingsley. They say both men lived in the mobile home park, but allegedly did not know each other. Investigators say right now they believe the deceased got into an argument with his girlfriend and left his home to take their dog for a walk. A little later, deputies said he was banging on the door of a home a short distance down the road, eventually forcing his way in. The sheriff's office says the incident is being investigated as a case of self-defense. The investigation is ongoing.
Well, there's a new school speed limit reduction in Mason County. It comes after the death of 16-year-old Samantha Jo Bateson. She was involved in that crash last month in front of Mason County Eastern High School. The speed limit has been reduced from 50 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour in the area of Mason County Eastern Schools where the crash happened. MDOT installed a new speed limit sign on Friday. They're in the village of Custer along US 10. The reduced speed limit will be in effect while school is in session 3 times during the day. It runs from 7:45 to 8:15 in the morning, 11:50 to 12:20 p.m., and from 3:15 to 3:45 p.m.
We've been looking at the speed reduction for the last couple of years, and MDOT has been working on that. Sadly, it wasn't put in place before the crash. I don't know that it would have made a difference in the crash, but clearly the incident that played out a couple weeks ago ramped that up. Please keep your speed down. Don't act aggressive. Don't drive aggressive anywhere, but especially in our school zones.
3 traffic stops were made this morning in the first half hour of the new reduced speed limit. The sheriff says deputies will continue to monitor traffic.
We have an ice safety warning tied to Mason County. It's after an ice rescue involving fishermen Sunday. It happened on Hamlin Lake. While there were no injuries and no one was ever in the water, their route back to shore opened up due to warm temperatures. The Hamlin Township Fire Department is reminding you, as temperatures rise, the ice thins. This can create extremely hazardous conditions for those out on the water. They say ice conditions can change rapidly, making previously safe areas dangerous. Use extreme caution and stay off the ice as it continues to weaken.
Well, the state budget process this year is anticipated to be a battle with a Democrat-controlled Senate and governor, but a Republican-controlled House. Debate and disagreement is likely, and that could set the stage for a state government shutdown potential. So House Republicans have passed a bill they claim may safeguard some spending should that happen.
We're expecting heads to butt on this.
As a first-year lawmaker, State Representative Parker Fairbairn may be a little new to the state budget process, but still, with a Republican-controlled House and a Democrat-controlled Senate, he has a pretty good idea what to expect.
And I think that we can expect that for any serious negotiations. It's either going to be right at the deadline or we don't come to an agreement.
And failure to come to an agreement on a state budget by September means the possibility of a state government shutdown. That's the Republican logic behind these two House bills they just passed.
The idea of this really is to ensure that our schools, our essential services are funded in the case that there's a government shutdown.
House bills 41, 61, and 62 set aside about $20 billion to fund things should lawmakers not be able to reach a deal to fund everything.
I believe this is more of a safety net. So we're doing not the bare bones, but the essentials we're trying to cover in the school budgets and the MSP budgets, all of these things, just to get those off the table. Get those out of the way. So in the scenario that we don't come to an agreement, those operations can stay operational.
Opponents to the House bill say it's Republicans already planning on a shutdown. Senate Majority Leader Winnie Brinks reacting, quote, "Is Speaker Hall anticipating his own failure to get a budget done? We haven't seen a government shutdown in a long time, and there's no good reason why we should be predicting one now unless he wants it to happen," end quote. They also argue that the dollar amounts in this to fund even schools and safety are too low. Representative Fairbairn responds, "This isn't meant to be the end-all be-all.
This isn't the overall budget. This isn't the omnibus budget. This is a supplemental budget to ensure that you guys can stay operational. Once we get into the negotiations, then we can talk about the extra stuff."
And negotiations are expected. Democrats claim it's a way to make cuts. Republicans say it's a way to simplify what's expected to be a contentious budget battle.
These are not negotiable. These are services that need to be there, and you can't use them as chips or horse trading. You can't do that, and that's why we did this. It's imperative that people understand we don't want this shouldn't be on the table. These are the bare basics.
Again, the House bills still have to make their way through the Democrat-controlled Senate, where there is expected to be more pushback. This may just be the first round in a lengthy budget battle, which needs to end by September in order to avoid that shutdown.
Grand Traverse County Parks and Recreation officials are preparing to make improvements to the Civic Center walking track in Traverse City, starting with the replacement of a popular pedestrian bridge. Officials say the improvement project will start the week of March 24th, and the pedestrian bridge over West Civic Center Drive will have to be removed. The removal project will require the road to be closed for at least one day, possibly two. After the bridge is removed, crews will begin working on the supports for the new bridge. Officials say they are expecting the new bridge to arrive in May so it can be installed in June, and the bridge is anticipated to be unavailable during that time. The project is expected to be completed by June 27th, with full completion of the improvement project by July 25th.
Looking ahead now to festival season at Interlochen, releasing more of its summer lineup today. Plenty of well-known names in the mix. Take a look. First up, June 14th, Ben Folds performing at the Corson Auditorium. Then it's Wynonna Judd taking her greatest hits tour to northern Michigan. She'll perform at Kresge on June 26th. Up next, The Head and the Heart coming to Kresge August 7th on the latest leg of their tour. Wrapping up with Toad the Wet Sprocket taking the stage with Semisonic and Sixpence None the Richer 2 days later on August 9th. Tickets go on sale Friday. You can find details right now on our website, UpNorthLive.com.
Coming up in weather, a warm day for some today, but everybody is looking at a cooler day tomorrow. Look at how long that lasts after the break.
I'm Jada Johnson from Big Boys TV, and the Fish and Game Report is sponsored by Johnson's Propane.